Hey guys, Momo here, and I've got a really interesting video for you today. Empire Flippers, which is one of the biggest marketplaces for buying and selling online businesses, have just released their State of Industry report for 2023 that highlights and analyzes all of the data that they have across multiple content sites, display sites, SaaS sites, FBA sites, dropshipping sites, etc. And they analyze the current state of the market, the trends that they're seeing, and some projections into what's going to happen hopefully in the next 12 to 24 months. Really interesting video. Let's get into it. Okay, so this was released yesterday. This is probably one of the most interesting reports that comes out on a yearly basis, just because Empire Flippers has so much data with all of the people that are buying and selling businesses on their marketplace. When they go through, and you'll see for yourself, the trends and the market information, it's really interesting if you're looking to start a site, if you have an existing site and you're looking to grow it, or potentially if you're looking to sell one, to really go through the report in full and in its entirety, understand the market trends and make informed choices. So I'm going to leave the link in the description below. It's not that long, maybe it's like 15 or 20 pages, right? And I'm going to just summarize it for you because it's quite a lot of content, quite a lot of information. I'm going to give you the summary points, the most important points, to help you understand exactly what to do moving forward in the next 12 months with your affiliate sites and your content sites. So let's get into today's video. So what is the State of Industry report by Empire Flippers? This is a report that's released annually, and it compares and contrasts market trends for all online businesses across the entire portfolio of their marketplace. And it just provides a non-biased, data-driven opinion on the marketplace, the current trends and market projections, and also the comparisons to last year and previous years. So this report individually has compared around 1,500 online businesses over the last 5 years to give us some shifts in the market, and it's super important. So you might be thinking, that's fantastic, Mo, but what does it say? What's the key points? Just summarize it for me. So here's what's happening. After a period of extreme growth in 2021, it seems as if the market is normalizing. And also, the report has said the post-pandemic peak is unlikely to return. That was between 2020 and 2021. And that peak led to expansive growth that is now normalizing out. So here are the 3 takeaways that I think is the most important. Number 1 is that sellers that are insisting on listing their websites, their content sites and affiliate sites at the post-pandemic valuation, which I think is around 45x in and around that range, is creating some type of misalignment in the market with buyers coming in and not expecting to pay that much, and sellers coming in and looking to sell at a really high multiple. Number 2 is that the average time that these content websites are listed on Empire Flippers has increased. So buyers are a little bit more resistant to go in and just essentially buy based on the data they see within Empire Flippers and doing their due diligence. It's taking a lot longer for content sites to sell on Empire Flippers marketplace. And the third point is, on top of those 2, sellers need to be a little bit more flexible this year and potentially going into next year. And need to be flexible in negotiations and potentially, if the deal's correct, go through some type of deal structuring process. So the report does go through and give so much data about content sites, but it also gives information about dropshipping sites, FBA sites, and e-commerce sites. But for us, of course, we're looking at content sites, blogs, and affiliate sites. And there's so much data to go through, so make sure you check out the report. There's some really, really cool informational graphs here as well for you to see for yourself. And I definitely recommend you actually reading through the whole report. Now, in 2022, around 315 businesses were sold on Empire Flippers Marketplace, which is slightly down from the post-pandemic levels of 2021, but it's still an increase from the pre-pandemic levels. So I think what they're trying to show us is that there was a really big surge of people coming online and trying to maybe gain exposure to the industry post-pandemic, because probably there was a little bit of uncertainty in other industries and other marketplaces. And now that's kind of coming down slowly a little bit back to the pre-pandemic levels, but it's still an increase of where it used to be before the pandemic. Also, for us content site owners, there's some good news that content sites are still the biggest chunk of all of the online businesses that they sell on Empire Flippers last year. And here's the important part. Display advertising is still one of the best and most sought after businesses that people are buying. So if you have display ads on your site, fantastic. If you haven't, then probably you're gonna have to find a way to integrate them. They're super simple to do. But one thing that I thought was really interesting about the report is that display ads are still sought after. And in terms of risk allocation for buyers coming in, if they see a site that has display ads on, it's been on for a long time and they can work out the RPMs, it's a tick in the right box for them to go ahead and obviously do their due diligence in other areas. But in terms of monetization and scale and limiting risk, it's a good point. So a few takeaways from the report. Like I said, be sure to take a look at it. One thing that I thought was very interesting, and this is backed up by other marketplaces that I've seen some data for, specifically Motion Invest. The multiples for websites are dropping now, so content sites, affiliate sites, etc. Post-pandemic, they're around maybe the 45-ish range. Now they seem to be around the 40, possibly 35-ish in terms of the multiples that you pay on the monthly revenue. So there is a slight drop in the monthly multiples. So bear that in mind if you're buying or selling. Content sites are still on the way up, which is fantastic. So based on the data of last year in 2022 by the Empire Flippers report, content sites are still a really attractive investment opportunity. So that's a plus if you have a content site. And if you're just starting out, probably the best place to start in terms of monetization, in terms of risk, in terms of selling your site in the not too distant future, is to be a content site with display ads as its main monetization method. Now, also, I would definitely say that high quality content and niche relevant content is the way forward. So finding a really good niche and producing some of the best content in that niche, especially with AI kind of taking over in terms of the small, low hanging competition fruit, definitely high quality is going to be the way forward, and being an expert in that particular niche or sub niche and silo. Another really important point is that you want to be more flexible as a seller. So maybe 2 years ago, as a seller, you can kind of come in and you could dictate exactly what price that you want people to pay you. Now it seems as if you need to be more flexible during your negotiation and don't have a misalignment of how much you think that your site's worth based on post-pandemic levels and what it actually is worth now, which is probably a little bit lower than what you think is the correct amount. And of course, there are deal structuring and earnouts available if your content site or your affiliate site is over a certain threshold. And just having all that in mind can definitely increase the likelihood of your site being sold. So all in all, the report is in the link below. Feel free to check it out. I do think it's really important for you to keep up to date with all market trends, and this report is definitely one of them. I hope you found that summary useful, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.